A new report claims that Bungie's marathon cost $250 million to produce. Money that it likely has not earned back with a decent launch, but steadily declining player counts. Clearly, this is just karma for that one time I lost that rifle I really liked when I was playing Marathon.
Yeah, it was a nice funeral, though, for that rifle that you had. Yeah, very classy. But we got more than just reminiscing about Bruce's lost weaponry on the Inside Games Roundup this week. Hold on to your hats, because there's a new Pokemon game, Pokemon Champions, and it's bad.
Oh, man. I thought we were on the right track with Pokopia. Well, anyways, the PC exclusive Samson is a janky, buggy mess. Crimson Desert's developers promise loads of fixes and updates in the coming months, and Google has pulled a popular visual novel over sensitive themes.
Yes, there's lots of news to discuss this week, so let's kick off the news by throwing to the one man that considers the temperature of beer a sensitive theme. Brian Garr.
Very sensitive. It's got to be cold. Warm beer, you can go to hell. All right, let's talk about Marathon, something I will never run. It may have cost more than $250 million to develop. That's according to a new report that says, yes, the game has had a shaky start, but it's not in any immediate danger. This comes from Forbes' Paul Tassi, who reported that Marathon's budget was definitely over $200 million and likely more than $250 million. And it's important to note that that is without including ongoing costs for stuff like maintenance and new content.
Oof. A month after launch, Marathon is in a kind of a weird spot. The players who stuck around, they really like what they're playing. It's a good game. But a lot of others have not stuck around.
I don't blame anyone for flaking out of this one. By the numbers, the game is reviewing well, though. It's got an 82 on Metacritic. Sales are estimated at around 1.2 million copies. Probably great for a small dev, but Bungie's not quite small.
Yeah, and player counts are trending down. Tassi reported the daily active users have dropped from about 478,000 at launch to roughly 345,000 across all platforms. That's when he checked about 2 weeks ago. Still, that's respectable considering it's in a crowded field that contains obviously big names like Arc Raiders and Escape from Tarkov.
On Steam, Marathon's players have dropped steadily over the past month, from a peak of more than 88,000 players around launch to less than 17,000 when we checked today. And I should note, because I saw a lot of comments about this, I just talked about the Steam numbers, and then Brian just talked about the overall daily active users. Those are two different numbers, just so you're all aware, because I saw people saying, like, how come Marathon's competing with Arc Raiders? Because they're talking about the daily active users across all platforms.
Yeah, but speaking of Arc Raiders, it's still going quite strong. It had a recent 24-hour peak of 109,000 players. So again, to drive the point home, that's the peak amount of concurrence that we're all playing the game at the same time versus the total amount of people that played the game over a 24-hour period. SteamDB often reports that first one, peak concurrence, so that's 109,000. And yeah, that is higher than Marathon even started at its lowest, so they're just in different tiers.
Yeah, so why have Marathon's player numbers dropped off? Part of it just natural. Most games, you start off, everybody checks it out, and then it sort of inevitably goes down.
Yeah, that's pretty standard. But Marathon also kind of leans into its difficulty and hardcore features where losing a match can mean losing all of your gear. It's an extraction shooter, but it's pretty difficult. And newer updates like ranked play and the cryo archive mode have only made things more competitive for Marathon.
Yeah, when the cherry on top, when the goal is something that most players can't even get to in terms of the gear requirement or the level requirement. And then when you get there, it's like loads of magnitude harder than even the rest of the game, which itself is already very difficult. So yeah, it's intense. It's intense stuff. There's also been other issues, balance problems, bugs tied to endgame content, and growing concerns about cheaters, especially at higher levels. I feel like that's inevitable in any online game, especially at this point.
Yeah, still things are not bleak. Bungie is continuing to roll out fixes and new content pretty quickly, and the game has avoided the kind of rapid collapse we've seen with other live services titles, but so it's not Concord yet. I think we're not there yet.
Yeah, but now they're in it for the long haul, the marathon, I suppose. At least it seems like this game has the bit of runway that we expect out of most live service games. I don't know how much of a runway it has, though. The thing that worries me about all these situations is everyone's going to say it's fine until the very last second when it's not. So I know that there's been some comments from Bungie, kind of forward-looking comments, things implying that they intend to keep working on this game. I'd like to find some safety in that, but I guess we just need to treasure it while it's here.
Look, everything was fine with Anthem until it wasn't. I'm just saying. All right, moving on. Early player reactions to Pokemon Champions suggests that the franchise's latest competitive focused game is not winning over their hardcore crowd.
That's too bad. The free-to-play battler released this week on Switch and mobile. It's got a not great 61 on Metacritic.
Ooh, Nintendo Everything blasted its rough performance, clunky menus, a small roster of around 180 Pokemon. I guess comparatively it's small, and limited battle options.
Its reviewer wrote, "I can't help but be massively disappointed with this product."
Oh man. That sounds like a Pokemon game. Pretty standard. Nintendo Life gave it a 5 out of 10, saying, quote, "The convoluted monetization, disappointing performance, and inexplicable bugs make this another lackluster Pokemon experience to add to the pile."
On Metacritic, the game has a 5.1 user score. Nearly half of user reviews were negative, with players pointing again to bugs, missing features, and what they see as a stripped-down experience.
One user, Tofa56, called it, quote, "a game shamelessly cashing in on the Pokemon IP."
Well, hold on. Let me look up who made this game.
The Pokemon Works is the name of the developer.
Yeah, developed by the Pokemon's a joint venture between ILC and the Pokemon Company. What the fuck? Because I was curious. Because like people always talk about how Game Freak is really bad at Pokemon games, and Pokopia was not made by Game Freak, and neither was Pokemon Champions. But this is also apparent. Like I don't know who's approving these games, but. Man, oh man.
The Pokemon Company as an entity is so mysterious. I've tried to really read into them and how they operate, and I just can't find anything. And yes, their ability to consistently launch the most dogshit Pokemon games I've ever seen is pretty amazing, but they still make all the money in the world, so fuck man, they're doing something right, I guess?
I have a dirty secret. I still obsessively play another free-to-play Pokemon spin-off, which is a cash grab, Pokemon Unite, which is a MOBA. I play it every night. Greninja Man, like, I still love it. It's like an easy League of Legends. It's great.
And you're probably a beast out there by now.
Oh, I don't even want to look at the number of hours at this point. Yeah. Moving on, the debut game from a new studio founded by a longtime open world veteran is off to a rough start, and the studio definitely knows it.
It's too bad. Christopher Sundberg, co-founder of Avalanche Studios and director of the Just Cause series, launched his new company, Liquid Swords, in 2020. His first game, Samson, released this week, but early reactions have been mixed at best, right? Lawrence, you played this.
Oh yeah, I actually, this is my kind of game. This is my kind of mixed, that's for sure. Right now the game sits at a 50 on Metacritic with mixed user reviews on Steam. Big reason is players are running into a lot of bugs, including some that break the game entirely. Yeah, I've run into a few of those.
Sundberg addressed the situation in a post on the game's Steam page, calling the issues, quote, "unacceptable." He acknowledged that many players are experiencing serious bugs and performance problems. He said the team is listening to feedback and working to improve the game. He wrote, "We released a game with flaws for a number of reasons." Without going into detail, that is the weirdest quote ever.
Refuses to elaborate. Ends post.
We did it on purpose, but it's a secret.
And send.
All I can see is that meme with the guy, the sideways head with the question marks over. A patch is already on the way, expected Fridays for Samson, aimed at fixing crashes, performance hiccups, and progression issues, along with general gameplay improvements and added features like multiple save files.
Great. Keep them coming. Yeah, Sundberg also said Samson will, quote, "grow over time" as the studio continues updating it. The rocky launch comes after a challenging stretch for Liquid Swords. The company announced layoffs, unfortunately, in early 2025, but continued development soldiering on, officially revealing Samson late last year. It's a hell of a game. It's a hell of a game. It doesn't have the wacky cutscenes of a crime boss Rock Hay City, but it's punching up in there. What I like is that it takes place in this fictional American city that's just this total late 80s, early 90s urban decay shithole. That's one of my favorite settings for a game, for a movie, for anything. Just any town America, total shitbag place.
You kind of sold me. Now I want to check it out. Like, that's right in my zone. That's Wichita Falls, Texas, baby. And let's talk about Crimson Desert Boys. It's getting a major round of updates. Developer Pearl Abyss says a wave of changes is rolling out starting now through June, and it's aimed at player complaints, including requests for more challenges and more to do. So that seems positive.
Oh, that's great. Honestly, like Pearl Abyss has been really on top of this. Some of the biggest additions include boss rematches, a new system where enemies can recapture previously cleared areas, and long-requested difficulty settings. Players will be able to choose between easy, normal, and hard modes after some felt recent updates made the game too easy because they had literally played 300 hours of the game and cleared the entire map. And so then those areas could not get retaken. So they were just wandering around in a peaceful area where there were no enemies.
God, I never want to see some of these bosses again. What the hell are they thinking? Get them off the disc. Anyway, secondary characters Damian and Unka are getting new abilities to bring them closer to the main character Cliff, addressing complaints that they felt too limited in many situations.
Why did the secondary characters get the $5 names and the main guy's just Cliff? Yeah, with a K, but still. On the quality of life side, the update adds things like crafting directly from storage, new inventory systems, more mounts and pets, and even the option to hide weapons on your character's back. It's just an MMO. I guess that's what it was originally.
I mean, yeah, this is made by Black Desert, but also you probably played the whole game with that broom on your back, the broom you pick up at the very beginning of the game, and then just wander around with a broom. Pearl Abyss is also working on UI tweaks, control improvements, and better looking distant scenery. Now, again, I know we're joking about it, but generally speaking, they are doing very, very good work on Crimson Desert. They keep updating it and making it better and better to play. So I think it's totally worth your time.
Yeah, especially after how exhausting the breadth of content is in that game already. You'd think they'd all be asleep for the next 6 months, but no, they just hit the ground running and have been updating the game nonstop since it launched. So you gotta love it. You gotta love the dedication.
And finally, Doki Doki Literature Club, oh man, has been pulled from the Google Play Store with Google citing concerns over its content. Boo, censorship, no.
Wow. The removal happened on Wednesday after Google determined the psychological horror game, quote, violates their terms of service in its depiction of sensitive themes, according to a joint statement from creator Dan Salvato and publisher Serenity Forge.
The team behind the game disputed that characterization, saying the title is, quote, widely celebrated for portraying mental health in a way that meaningfully connects with players and helps them feel heard, understood, and less alone.
They also said they're working to get it reinstated on the Play Store while exploring other ways to distribute it on Android in the meantime. And it is a great game. I don't play visual novels or this sort of thing, despite the way I look, but that is a great horror game.
Yeah, it's a standout.
All right, let's do a 5-second review. Something new. Minecraft.
A modern game for once, huh?
So my 8-year-old's really into it, and finally I was like, okay, I'll play. So we're playing. I'm on PC, she's on Switch. I built a house. She immediately assigned me to resource slave and then killed me for standing in the wrong square. So 10 out of 10 parenting experience. Yes, a lot of fun. Would do again.
All right, for the parents out there, let's save some money, get some cash back in your wallet and in those kids' college accounts. Instant Games is yet again on your side with a list of free games for this week. This segment's getting longer and longer, so there's a lot of free games this week, basically. Epic Games is the least complicated of the batch. They're giving away Prop Sumo and Tomac Save the Earth Regeneration again. I guess nobody wanted to play the game where you grow an anime girl head in a flower pot, but it's still up for grabs.
Amazon Prime subscribers, which again, these are not free. You pay for the Prime subscription, but you get these games for free if you have that. You can claim King of Retail or A Rat's Quest, The Way Back Home, Season 1.
This actually is a good game. Graveyard Keeper is free on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation right now to celebrate the announcement of the sequel this week.
Yeah, good stuff. PlayStation Plus monthly games have rolled around, so if you're a subscriber, you can now claim April's games. Those are Lords of the Fallen, that's the 2023 one, not the other one. Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered, and Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream.
And then, of course, we've got the Xbox. All Xbox console users can play Project Motor Racing and One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 for free until Sunday, April 12th. You just only got a couple days to do that. Any tier Game Pass subscribers can also play Subnautica. Well, we're about the same time there, so get to playing.
And finally, here are all the Game Pass editions over the week. PC Game Pass picked up DayZ and Endless Legend 2. The rest of these games are now in Game Pass on PC and console. Final Fantasy 4 Pixel Remaster, FBC Firebreak, Planet Coaster 2, and Tiny Bookshop.
And finally, 5 games are leaving Game Pass this week on April 15th. That's Ashen, Eiyuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes, Grand Theft Auto 5, My Little Pony, A Zephyr Heights Mystery, and Terra Invicta. So you have about 5 days to wrap up your play on those, or you'll have to buy them.
All right, let's move on to the upcoming games for this week. First up, Before I Go. Explore the haunting, dreamlike fantasy world of Before I Go, a punishing Metroidvania where you embody the innocence of an inner child on an allegorical odyssey towards death acceptance. The end is inevitable, but will you brave the journey? Comes to every single platform on April 13th.
Dosa Divas, battle an evil fast food empire in this spicy narrative turn-based RPG. Two sisters and their upgradable spirit mech cook delicious meals, fight corpos, build up your reputation with local communities, and reconcile with loved ones. It comes to the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch 2, Switch, and the PC April 14th.
All right, this one's been cooking for a while. Replaced. It's finally coming out. Expose the sinister secrets of Phoenix Corporation as Reach, an AI trapped in a human body. Set in an alternative 1980s America scarred by nuclear catastrophe, navigate a dark cyberpunk thriller in this narrative-driven 2.5D platformer blending cinematic exploration with fluid, free-flow action. Replaced comes to Xbox Series and PC on April 14th.
Up next, Last Flag. Hide your flag. Find the enemy flag. Run it back. Then defend for a minute to win it. Welcome to Last Flag, a fast-paced 5v5 shooter with show-stopping contestants set in a televised competition where strategy, teamwork, and chaos blend in the ultimate game of Capture the Flag. Comes to PC April 14th.
Erebon Shadow Legacy is a fast-paced stealth platformer game where you become Ayana, the last descendant of a forgotten race. Harness mystical shadow powers, high-tech gadgets, and avoid or kill to uncover the truth about your past and the key to saving a dying, morally gray universe. It comes to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, April 16th.
Next up, this one's real cute looking. Mouse PI for Hire. Join private investigator Jack Pepper on a guns-blazing, jazz-fueled adventure in Mouse PI for Hire. Mouse combines the charm of hand-drawn rubber hose animation, inspired by the classic cartoons of the 1930s, with the adrenaline and action of an explosive first-person shooter. Mouse comes to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on April 16th.
Up next is Shantytown. This is a relaxing diorama building game about finding beauty in everyday chaos. Bring new locations to life, stack your urban buildings high, and fill each little nook and cranny with your own touch. Try your hand at shaping a cozy little city that is unique to you. Comes to PC April 16th.
Up next, Syntopia. Manage hell, manipulate the overworld, build the resurrection business of your dreams. In Syntopia, you're tasked with managing the bureaucratic administration of hell, re-educate the sinful, generate profit, play God, and expand your hellish empire. All part of a day's work at Hell Incorporated. Comes to PC April 16th.
Another long-time coming game here, Pragmata, is a unique sci-fi action-adventure game from Capcom. Follow Hugh, a member of an ill-fated investigation team, and Diana, a young android, as they navigate a lunar facility taken over by rogue AI in search of a way to Earth. Pragmata is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC on April 16th.
And finally, Generation Exile. Rebuild settlements entirely within a colossal generation ship in this turn-based city builder. Expand your city, manage limited resources, and optimize production chains as you navigate difficult choices about humanity's future among the stars. Comes to PC April 17th.
That'll do it for this week's Inside Games Roundup. Thank you very much for watching, by the way. Your support gives Brian all the opportunities he needs to bring up Dragon Quest, and we love that for him. Although we made it through another week, somehow without it. Oh, wait, there it is. Never mind. Hey, right at the end. Love it. Please consider subscribing and recommending the show to a friend if you enjoyed it. That's truly how the dream works here. But there's also Patreon. That makes the dream work too. So thank you very much for checking out our Patreon if you've done so. If you haven't, please check it out. There's free memes there. And we'd also like to shout out some of our Patreon supporters. So thank you very much, Sherwin Sanchez, Jose Diaz, Ryan Daraberry, Dr. Bone Cone, and Chilled Monkey Brains for your support. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on Inside Games.